How's it going? This is David, Blade Banter, working to bring you specifications you can relate to so you can have an educated decision on your purchases. This is one from Highwater Knives, so JD, that's his logo there. So now he has this one that came out, so totally made in his garage, Tormek machine. He picked that up. He was an engineer, worked on the engine that went into the Raptor jet. So that's a really cool thing, and actually being able to really dive into something and really go after a lock that's kind of finicky. So that's where it's kind of a interesting knife that he jumped in right away on. But sorry that I had this for a while, holidays and everything else, but we'll get this moving along. This is going to be now the one from him. So that's going to be his knife here. So this is again USA made. So two different steel options. You have 154 CM or CPM 154, or you have S35. So you have both of those options. $2.95 shipped to you. So check out his Instagram. That's going to be probably the best way to reach him. The only thing that I really had critique on it was the pocket clip. I personally didn't like it. I mean, it works well and everything else, but just a standard loop over clip. I mean, there's one off of Penguin, but it has the same type of gap or same type of spacing, so you could pop that right on there if you really want to. But that's the only thing that I was kind of a critique on. But function-wise, this does work well. It actually is quite a bit stronger than I would like for a pocket clip. This one has a retention about 4 pounds 13 ounces. So what does that mean? A Lyman pull gauge, kind of getting it to pull on it, so put it into a jean pocket and then basically pulled it out. So it at the most of the retention, you're pulling 4 pounds. So 5 pounds is like a gallon of milk. So you're kind of, it does have a lot of retention for the clip. And then also for the detent for this one is quite a bit higher than I would prefer as well, but it does rock it out. I mean, it's pretty much faster than some of the automatic knives out there. So there's a little Kalashnikov automatic, so we'll open this one up. So that's a little sluggish, so might need some lubrication or something, but this is going to be this one here. So if we get that right there. So it opens up, so the blade is going to be one that's either love it or leave it type of thing. So it kind of, for me, the Jerry Hossam designs, you're going to have the Norseman, so that's another one that they started out doing smaller runs and then kind of became this larger company. So, but that's going to be the one there. Very beautiful for the sharpening on this one too. It is a more of a convex type of grind, because I went and tried to check on what the sharpening angle was, and it's pretty wide. So that's where it just kind of has a really wide type of sharpening. It's not really a direct one, probably like a fixed angle system. I'm not too sure what he's using for the sharpening for this, but you can kind of see on this one as far as even the sharpening that he did for it. So it is under a microscope, so you can see some of those sharpening lines, but it is basically a polished blade. You do have those CNC mill lines for it. You do have the steel information. So this one's a CPM 154 variant. It is going to be made in USA, and then also going to have his logo on the other side. So those are all the markings that you're going to get for the blade. So just very well done. Was able to meet him at Blade Show, so it's kind of cool. He was walking around with his wife and then kind of just showing off the products, and then able to meet the community and everything else, kind of show off what he had. So you can tune the detent a little bit too, so if you prefer it to be a little bit less, he does do these one by one. So he said that you can make that adjustment, so probably reach him on Instagram for that, and then he can kind of make that adjustment if you would like to. So still a lot of handle material or handle space for this one. So really similar ones that you're going to have for this is going to be like the Freeman knives. That one's going to be about $325. This is $195 or $295 for this guy. But Freeman isn't made in Oregon, so he used to work for Gerber. But he makes his own knives, so Freeman Outdoors. You even have Medford, also $325 for a smaller one. So I have like the small, like the Smooth Criminal for this guy. So this is like a $325. This one's $295, bigger blade. So style-wise, you have to really choose as far as what you like for the actual setup. But this is going to be USA made as well. But the detent on this one is going to be very light for this guy. But lockup's really good on that, and that's one thing really good about this button lock too, is the lockup is just really solid for a button lock. So weight-wise, this is going to be about 4 ounces. So you're going to have quarter-wise, you're going to have that whole basically 20 quarters, and that's going to be the weight for that one. And the difference between the Freeman outdoor knife, the Freeman one is over 5 ounces, so you're going to have quite a bit of weight difference for that one. I think it was like about 7 quarters and a penny difference, so that's going to be a difference on that knife. So this one actually is coming in pretty good weight at 4 ounces, especially for the size of blade that you have here. The size wise for like a penguin, that's going to be that shape forward or that size. But yeah, definitely best way to follow him on Instagram. You can see what's going on with him as far as what he has going on, because he actually is working on an automatic variant as well. So that's going to be something that's pretty cool for that. You also do have even the Cetus, so it's going to be similar to the Cetus for size-wise, just very different blade shape, and of course different styles as far as what you're looking for. USA made, made in China. So that's going to be the difference there too. So that's just really just an amazing thing to do for the knife. It is reversible for the pocket clip, as you see. So if you do want to do right hand or left hand, that is something that's available to you. It does have kind of this wave type of pattern for it. It is fairly smooth, so it doesn't have a lot of grip for it, but it's still confident in hand. And then you do have those mill lines that even the Skaha used to have, and then it's just a really nice look to it for those CNC lines. So I think it adds a lot of character to the knife. So that's something that you could definitely check out. And then this, so with it being just a really high detent, you're going to want to just push through it. So kind of more just, at least for me, it's like pushing downwards. So I don't really want to rake it to open it. I'm kind of just pushing through. And just that way, it's just really confident in hand to get the detent to break. And then this is almost a 5-pound detent. That's where you just use, again, Lyman pull gauge for that. We'll see what it actually is. So if we can get that. So see what the, yeah, so over 5 ounces. So that's where, or 5 pounds, sorry, 5-pound pull. So I would prefer normally about 3 pounds is normally for a flipper tab, but even with 5 pounds, with the size of the flipper tab and the placement, that's where again you don't want to pull down necessarily. I did have it where, like, if you kind of miss it, kind of almost has a crunchy noise when it goes over to your finger, but again, that can be adjusted if you would prefer. But just very nice for the way it performs. Cuts well. It does have a little bit of a recurve, so if you do want to sharpen it, there is going to be just somewhat of an issue there. So you got a little bit of a light under there. So a little bit of recurve, but I think it won't be too bad to get that done. But reach him out, reach him on Instagram to check that out. And then we're going to just pull up with some other ones that you might have. So like the bug out is going to be definitely bigger than the bug out for that. So that's the size difference for those guys. But for USA made, for button locks, there's not too many folks out there for the USA made side. And it is a finicky lock. So that's where I give him a lot of credit for going out there and doing that. So you can also find it at Blade Ops, is another one that I did see his product at. So if you want to support him, either go through Blade Ops or one of the dealers if he has another dealer that picked him up. Otherwise, just go direct to Instagram, reach out to him, see which one you want to get, either the S35 or the CPM 154, and then just support him there on his journey, because it's really an amazing feat to come up with a full knife on your own, to go through the research to do it, get the machinery, and actually make it. So I give them a lot of credit for that, and just go out there, support them, provide feedback, and then hopefully we'll see him just continue to go. So still a side hobby for him, so we'll see where it takes him. But that's about all I have to say about that one. Let me know what you think in the comments, and thanks for stopping by.